Duck here from the WildArkansas YouTube channel, and we're going to go ahead and do episode 4.5 of this here podcast on this channel right here, right now. Here we go. So, have you ever heard the term dirty kids? Probably not. So, it's not exactly what you think. So, there's an entire alternative subgenre, culture type thing going on. So it's a mix of like crust punk, country, homeless, train hopper, train core, travel core. It's like a whole thing. And it's a real big melting pot of people from all walks of life, all parts of the earth. Like, I've met people from almost every continent just traveling. So let me go ahead and start by explaining maybe more the type of people you'll see, the visual part. So almost all of them will have face tattoos, non-gang related. None of it's a gang, none of it's like a cult, it's nothing like that. It's just a subgenre of people, like subculture, whatever you want to call it. So they'll have the face tattoos, usually a beard or chops or some kind of disheveled facial hair, dreadlocks, unkempt hair, shit like that. I mean, I know some people that had absolutely gorgeous hair that were traveling, never washed it, never did shit to it. They just had good hair. So, I mean, there's always that. But, they'll have a lot of them have dreadlocks and a dog and backpack. And, the ongoing joke is, hey, do you know my friend Pork Chop? Backpack, dreadlocks, beard, dog. Because that's literally everyone likes to wear green or brown and has an anarchy symbol tattoo. Like, it's literally everybody. It's every single person in the traveling community. So we call ourselves dirty kids. I traveled for years, and I'll fucking be a dirty kid for life. I got a tattoo on my arm that says, dirty kids have fun, clean kids get sick and die, and that's 100%. So, all the, the hitchhiking, train hopping, rubber tramp, any of that, those are all dirty kids. Some of them won't call themselves that. They'll call themselves, I'm strictly a train hopper, blah, 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 or I'm a hippie, or I'm strictly an earth child. You'll have all kinds of different titles, we'll say. And, but they all boil down to the same thing. They're all fucking dirty kids. Because none of them bathe. We're all traveling, just living life. And, there was we used to have competitions, oh yeah, how long has it been since you took a fucking bath? Well, fucking 4 months. How long since you took a bath? 6 months. I went an entire year without taking a bath, and it didn't bother me a bit. I wasn't dirty, I didn't stink, I just smelled like me. It was just, it didn't stop the women from coming, I'll tell you that. But I spent all this time, I spent 7 years, I started out hitchhiking, train hopping, then I got a van, then I went back to hitchhiking, train hopping, then I went back to the van, and, I traveled all 48 states like that, just being homeless, being a little punk kid running around, playing music on the street, and, believe it or not, in this subculture, there's an hierarchy. There's 100% an hierarchy. If you haven't been fucking traveling and someone doesn't know your name, you are fucking nothing to these people. You think that the homeless people are they're all the same, they're all just pieces of shit. Nah. Wait till you really get in there into this fucking dirty kid thing, the whole hierarchy of dirty kids. Because you'll have my name's Railspike. I've been traveling for fucking 10 years. Like, now you are nothing compared to this guy. No one will talk to you. If you're fresh on the road, prepare to get treated like absolute garbage by homeless people. Like, because you don't have that fucking level of fame in the homeless community. I swear to God, this is all true. So, like, you gotta be out there. Like, people have to know your name. You have to be hopping trains. You gotta be dirty. You can't be clean and be homeless. If you're clean and homeless, people will act like you're a fucking idiot. Like, all the other traveling kids will treat you like a fucking idiot. You'll get called a trust fund kid, which trust fund kids, there's plenty of that. There's these kids that live on mommy and daddy's dime, Jewish princesses and all that shit, that go out and meet these traveling kids and are like, oh, I want to be on the road too. And so they take daddy's fucking monthly paycheck and go travel on that dime. You know, they're cool. They're cool to hang with. We always played cool with them, so they buy us hotel rooms and food and car parts and whatever. Like, fuck yeah, we'll be nice to the trusty kids, you know, but they weren't on our level, you know. Now, when I speak hierarchy, I'm gonna be up on that food chain, because motherfucker, I was out there. I was out there saving lives, getting dirty kids off heroin, getting them to quit drinking, keeping them out of fucking jail. Like, I was out there doing the fucking work, you know. I was traveling, helping traveling kids, just doing my thing. And, you know, I loved it. It didn't bother me a bit. I just enjoyed spending all that time moving, you know. And that was one of my biggest regrets when it came to traveling. You know, like, all we were doing was hunting for more dirty kids. Like, ooh, there's a bus at the fucking Walmart. Go check it out. Meet up with some more dirty kids. Hang out. Or fucking hit up some of our friends on Facebook. Like, yo, what town's popping off right now? We'll come meet y'all there. Like, Manitou? Alright, let's all go to Manitou Springs. We'd all go meet up in Manitou. And there used to be a really fucking awesome melting pot there. Because, like, when it was back, so, like, it was back when all the local kids were still, like, 17, 18 years old. All the local kids wanted to be punk rockers. They all wanted to be traveling kids. They saw all us coming into town, going out of town, shit like that. So they started hanging out with us. And honestly, it was the best thing that could have fucking happened. Because all of those kids were cool as fuck. Every last one of them was dope as fuck. And they are now, like, either doing well with each other and dating and all that and whatnot, or they're still on the road and doing good either way, playing music, being DJs, whatever, having jobs, having kids. Like, you know, everybody's got their niche and everybody's doing it. But back then, you know, we all just lived at the stage in Manitou. And it was all of us fucking dirty kids and a bunch of local kids that wanted to be dirty kids and all the hippie people. And you know, that's what we did. We just go to these little towns and we'd find cool little spots. And, you know, you just kick it until you couldn't kick it. Until the cops were like, get the fuck out of my town. Don't be here right now. Get the fuck out or I'm going to fucking arrest you and put you in jail for trespassing, vagrancy, whatever. Which, vagrancy is still totally a thing in some states. If you don't have a $20 bill in your pocket, you can go to jail for however long they want you to go to jail. But yeah, no, like, you know, we'd meet new people and build crews and load the crews into the van or go find the fucking hop out at the train yard. And we'd take, you know, all your new people and fucking go traveling until that crew fell apart. Then you'd put together a new crew and go traveling with them. Like, that was my thing. You know, I had my van for the longest time. For like 5 years of my career, I was in my van. Well, like 4 years of my traveling career, I was in my van. Something like that. It was in and out. But like the last 4 years, guaranteed, I was in the van. You know, I'd go to these little towns. I'd fucking put together a fucking crew. And we'd heat the fucking road! But, you know, there's only so much of that you can do before you get bored. Because, I mean, we traveled and traveled and traveled and traveled. And like I was saying, okay, back to what I was saying. Ha! I get scattered brain when I'm doing this shit. Anyway, you know, that's what we did. We went to these little towns and we'd hang out, we'd put crews together, and we'd burn out these towns and just keep moving. And that was my biggest regret, is that I never stopped long enough to like really enjoy everything. I was always on the move. Because like when you're traveling in a van, you have to park somewhere. And if you park somewhere, you have to pay to park. And then that means you got to go busk and make money to pay to park. And if you don't have the money to park when you get there, then what are you going to do? You got to park 5 miles up a neighborhood and walk all the way back to town, and then walk all the way back to the van because you left your dog in there. And it was like a whole thing, you know. It's a lot more difficult. But the thing people don't realize is like they're out there by choice. Absolutely. Like all these dirty kids are usually 90% of them are out there by choice. And you'll have that low 10% where it's like, oh, they were raped as kids, or they have extreme mental trauma or shit like that, and they're out there because they don't know how to live a normal life. They just don't. They only know the struggle. So that's what they do. But anyway, I'm getting off topics. The whole hierarchy thing. Shoot back to that. There's 100% an hierarchy, because it's just like going to work in an oil rig. You've got your foreman, and then your rig hands, and then you've got your I guess like the bitches of the fucking whole pad, And it's the same thing. You'll have your experienced travelers, then you'll have your hitchhikers, and then your rubber tramps. Now, I did it backwards. Well, I did it the right way, but it's kind of backwards. Everyone hates a rubber tramp until they need a ride. No one likes the traveling kid that has the van until they need a fucking ride. And that's just how that's always been. Everyone will talk shit on the rubber tramps all the time for no fucking reason other than to be a cunt. But the train kids are the worst of the worst. They're just shitty. They think they're better than you, and they're always drunk, which means they really think they're better than you. So, like, train kids, their whole goal is to be shit hammered wasted 24 hours a day. Like, I have never met a train kid that had any other goal than to be shit hammered wasted at all times of their life. Like, I know traveling kids that are hitchhikers that don't drink and they're having a great time. But then I have friends that do drink and they're having a great time, aside from the whole time they're spending shitting themselves next to me, or shitting themselves next to a sleeping bag, or shitting on their dogs, or shitting on their hands, or waking up like, hey, you got any change? I go get a 40. Like, all the fucking time, these stupid fucking like 22-year-old traveling kids that are out there with the fucking shakes, because all they know is how to drink, because that's like what the hierarchy tells them to do. Like, oh, the train kids drink? That means I need to be an alcoholic too, so that I can be one of these guys. And that's literally what happens. Like, I've watched so many people just be like, they're like completely sober aside from like smoking. And then they get in with all these fucking traveling kids, and now suddenly they're alcoholics and they're punk rock. And like, prime example was my friend Justin. When we found him in Florida, he was a hippie. I'm talking cut off jean shorts, no shoes, t-shirt, tie-dye bandanas, long hair, big scruffy beard, super peaceful, vegan, like the whole 9 yards. And then we got a hold of him, and he started traveling with us. And within like 2 to 3 weeks, that motherfucker was wearing patchy pants, crusty as fuck, was ready to change his name to something like fucking, I can't even remember what it was back. It was really bad though. I wish I could remember what it was, like Toolbox or something. It was terrible. We all just ended up calling him Vegan. And then I fucking imprinted the name Vegan on him. I told we'd walk up to any group, like, he'd be like, oh, hey, my name is such and such. I'm like, nah, this motherfucker's name is the vegan. You know, like the Swede, he's the vegan. And then it stuck hard. He hated it, but it was hilarious. Because he wasn't a vegan. He fucking eat anything. And that was the funniest part. But like, by the time he got out of the van and went traveling on his own, he was hardcore trained kid, full on crust punk, like 100%. Went from full hippie to full crust punk in just weeks. I swear to God. And, you know, I mean, people, well, they would just change so fast. Like, we'd pick up girls, you know, wherever, and they'd be like residential town girls, you know, like, oh, walking down the street. We would just convince them, like, fucking leave your life behind, hit the road, let's fucking go. And, you know, 90% of the time, they were about it. Like, sorry, my throat's dry. I can't quench it. I don't know. Like, so, like, these girls, right? You could convince them of anything. It's crazy. Especially when it comes to traveling, because, like, my number one pickup line was like, hey, you want to run away together? And if they said yes, we would literally run away together. Like, we would, like, take off, leave state, go to another state, go across the country, shit like that. And a lot of times, you know, it didn't work out, and I'd end up leaving some girl somewhere, anywhere, some state. You know, they'd get all shitty, and I'd be like, well, fuck it, go home then. And they'd be stuck on the road or whatever. I'd be like, go with that group of fucking traveling kids. They'll figure you out. Like, whatever. Yeah, I mean, it sounds shitty, and it was shitty, but I mean, that's just the way it was. I mean, that's traveling. I mean, it's happening right now. There's someone doing the exact same thing right now. Anyway. But yeah, like, we used to just, like, convince people. We would find groups of hipsters and be like, yo, you guys want to take off? We got a van. We're ready to go. We got some pot. Like, let's roll. And people would literally just be like, okay. Because everyone's fucking bored. So, like, traveling is, like, the number one, man. Like, everyone's like, oh, I wish I could travel. I've been to 48 motherfucking states in a 1979 Chevy van with a 350 4-bolt main, 3-speed transmission, and I've been to the whole continent. Well, not the continent, but anyway, this part of the continent. The whole US of A. 48 states in that van, and I never spent any of my own money on it. You know, like, we would go out there and, you know, just like people at Walmart, fly a sign, need gas. And we did. We needed gas. Were we homeless by choice? Absolutely. Were we in the wrong? Absolutely not. Because why not? All these other kids are getting free rides to fucking college and anything else. Why can't we have a free ride to fucking do our kind of college? You know, my kind of fucking college was traveling. And that's what's up. That's how I have a doctorate. I've got a doctorate in philosophy. So, there you go. Dr. Duck at your service. But I mean, it doesn't do me any good. It doesn't do anyone any good. College is fucking horse shit. Anyway, you learn more from traveling than you could ever learn from the military, college, home, farming, homestead, cabin in the woods, fucking big city, big town, small town, like any of that shit. You will learn more from being homeless and traveling. You will learn more about compassion, empathy, how to survive, how to make money, how to feed yourself. Like, you will learn so much more by traveling than you would ever learn staying wherever the fuck you are. Like, if you are in your hometown right now and you're like, fuck, I wish I was somewhere else, just fucking go. What is stopping you other than the fucking nagging fucking thing your parents ingrained in your head? They ingrained it in your head, like, oh, you can't travel unless you got lots of money. You got lots of money, you go somewhere. Like, fuck that. Just be homeless in your hometown for 2 weeks. Get used to it, and then leave. You know, just don't go anywhere you know. Be on the streets for 2 weeks in your hometown that you know. you will learn how to survive in those 2 weeks, and then you could just hit the fucking road and be a dirty kid. And that's a fucking fact, Jack. So, what's stopping you? What's your excuse? You got anything fucking better to do? If you're between the ages of 20 and 28, hit the fucking road, Jack. Just go. 18 and 28. Anything over 28, get a fucking job. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you're past 28, you're a grown-ass fucking adult. You don't need to be by choice homeless anymore. You just need to go fucking settle down. Because that shit, all these, like, 28-plus traveling kids that are still on the road, it's because they had that fucking hierarchy. They had that claim to fame. Like, oh, I'm fucking pork chop. I've been riding trains for 14 fucking years. Like, yeah, good for you, bud. But you're still just an alcoholic riding trains from place to place. And, like, you don't know where you're going. You don't have a reason to go anywhere. Like, it's not even fun anymore. You're just doing it because it's all you know. Like, it's bullshit. But if you're from the ages 18 to 28, hit the fucking road, dude. Get the fuck... Hit the road, dude. This is private property. Fuck on. I'm telling you. Just hit the road. Get a backpack, get a sleeping bag, get a good water jug, and hit the fucking road. You don't need anything else. You don't need money. You don't need nothing. It's out there. It's all out there. If you're willing to just get rid of your fucking shame. What are you fucking worried about? Like, oh, I don't want someone to see me asking for $1. Fuck you. What kind of fucking shit is that? What mentality is that? If you need $1, ask somebody for a fucking $1. If you need food, ask somebody for some fucking food. Oh, I don't want anybody to see me asking nobody for nothing. Why? Are you that embarrassed of yourself you can't just be like, oh yeah, I just need a handout. Thank you. You can't do that? You're scared of that? What are you, a big old pussy? The fuck? Travel. Get out there. Ask for money. Ask for food. Ask for water. Somebody will give it to you. The first 50 people might not give you a fucking thing. And they will just look at you like this. Or they'll be like, fuck you, I don't have anybody, get away from me. Like, that's fine. Walk away. And go to the next person. Be like, hey, that guy just yelled at me for asking for $1. Is there any way you can spare $2? They'll be like, oh, what a piece of shit. Here's $5, Eddie. Like, all my life, that's what I've done. I've been out there begging for money and everything else until I was fucking old enough to be an adult. You know, while I was in my 20s, I was enjoying my teenage years because I was locked up for all my teenage years. So my entire 20s was my teenage years for me. That's what I had to do. I had to go enjoy life. And you know what? I went from jail to homeless. And there is no fucking ease into that. You just are that. Alright? So, you know, I went homeless in my hometown, had a great time, was like, fuck this place. And I moved on to the next town, and then the next town, and the next town, and the next town. For 7 years. 7 years of traveling made up for my 7 years of jail. That was my excuse. But what's your excuse? Why are you sitting at home? Why aren't you out on the road? Like, oh, I gotta make money for rent. Fuck rent. Get out of there. Just fucking tell them to keep it. Load all your shit up. Take it somewhere. Take it to your parents' house. Sell it. Give it away. Who cares? Load up your backpack. Go. Just go. Just go. Man, I don't know how else to explain it to you. It's so easy. When I was traveling, I would eat a motherfucking steak every other day. I can't even afford a steak right now and I'm working full time. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was on the road, I had a full tank of gas. I got a full-time job, I ain't got no motherfucking gas. Like, it's all different. When you have a place to live and bills and all that shit, you can't have any money. But when you're homeless, you get to have all your money. Every fucking dollar that's handed to you is tax-free your money. You know, people will be like, oh, Well, you gotta pay your taxes every year. Not if you don't fucking work. Not if you're homeless and traveling. You don't have to pay shit. You don't have to talk to a tax attorney. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to go to a tax office. You don't gotta do shit. You don't gotta file nothing. I didn't file taxes for 10 fucking years because I didn't do anything. I was just traveling. There's nothing taxable about it. Fuck them. What I like to say, make a big old set of merch shirts that just say, fuck them. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there's like this whole subculture people don't understand. It's dirty kids. Like, they'll be wearing like, it's brown, green, and black is the fucking uniform, all right? Dirty brown, green, and black clothes. That's the fucking uniform for a dirty kid. You'll see them. You'll see them everywhere. Every single one of them will be wearing brown, black, or green. Period. And, I mean, that's just how it is. You can't miss it. You know? You go into any big city and go walking around, you're going to see somebody playing a fucking guitar or a banjo somewhere, wearing, you know, probably a patched up vest and patchy pants, and fucking their dog's thirsty and they're trying to fucking ask for water and everyone's yelling at them. Like, yeah, those are the cool people. Go talk to them. Find out about them. You know, I've met more dope motherfuckers on the road that were homeless than I've ever met dope motherfuckers that weren't homeless. Let me tell you that. It's usually the coolest fucking people that are on the streets. Like, if you think you're a weird outcast, you probably are. So go hang out with all the other weird outcasts, because that's where they're at. They're traveling. They're on the road. They're homeless. Chilling. Having a great time. I don't know. Hopefully all this makes sense and I'm not just fucking incoherently rambling to my phone. Thank God I pressed the record button. I had to check. But I mean, honestly, have you ever noticed that there's all these people out there? Probably not. Probably just put your blinders on and walk right by them. But they're there. They're people. They're cool. They'll have cool stories. They play good music. Almost all of them. You know, all these musicians that say, oh, I started out playing on the streets. Like, they were dirty kids. They were fucking dirty kids, dude. They were traveling dirty kids. Every musician that ever made it that came from the streets was originally a dirty kid. And I mean, that's just the facts of it. Like, shit, like Hank 3. Hank 3 used to hang out with all us dirty kids at Hippie Hill all the fucking time. We'd be just chilling, and here he'd come. He'd just come hang out with us, because we're his kind of fucking people, you know? Or, what's his fucking name? That Colin kid, Colin Nash. He used to be a traveling kid, and now he's fucking super famous. You know, I mean, there's 1,000 of them. There's thousands of them. I don't know all their names, and I don't know what they do, but I know there's thousands of them. Because, like, they've done studies on it, and there's, you know, at any given time, there's 200,000 dirty kids traveling the country. You know, I mean, I've heard that statistic. I can't remember where I found it, but it was like a legit statistic that at any given time, there are 200,000 traveling kids at any time. Not children, but what kind of kids I'm talking about. You know, at any given time, there's 200,000 people hopping trains and hitchhiking, which is wild. Because I think like the most I've ever seen in one place was a couple thousand, which was like, you know, there's a rainbow gatherings every year, the national rainbow gatherings, and they'll have, you know, a couple thousand people show up. A lot of times it's a bunch of weekend warriors, but you know, you'll have all the dirty kids will show up and try to take positions in the whole thing, and you'll have your Nick at Nighters, which are your guys that all they do is fucking hand out cigarettes. Like that's like their whole thing, and they are the top fucking nutsack at the rainbow gathering because they have the cigarettes, and it's like fucking okay, whatever. But you'll have Nick at Night and Front Gate. Front Gate is all the alcoholics, A-Camp and all that. All the fucking people that want to drink will have to stay at the front gate because you can't take liquor into the rainbow gatherings. And you know, they'll just be there giving everybody hell. It'll be a bunch of trained kids that are drunk as fuck, just fucking with the hippies and fucking with the townie people that are coming to look at the hippies, and they'll be fucking charging people ticket admission to go to the national forests, which I'm guilty of doing that many times. But, you know, and then you'll get in there and there's all these different little camps. You know, you'll have Fat Kids and Montana Mud and Projects and A Camp, and I mean the list goes on. There's hundreds of these little groups. Yeah, and I mean there's all these different camps in the rainbow gatherings, and you're supposed to go, you know, help out and help each other, and then you'll get fed. And you know, a lot of them will have like kitchens going on in which you can go hang out, and if you got to go get firewood and help bring water and tote this, tote that, clean dishes, and you know, you'll get fed. You know, there's a lot of people that won't do shit and they'll show up and just get the free food, but you know, most of them ask that you help out before you get anything, and you know, nobody really minds that. But there's a lot of people that are in that traveling kid mentality that everything should just be handed out, which, you know, a lot of them don't get. You got to work for your food, you got to do this and that. And just like, you know, I'm explaining this, and I paused it and I went and used the bathroom and stopped and talked to some lady in front of the gas station, and she was explaining to me how she lives in a tent behind the gas station, like literally as I'm making this, and stopped. And you know, me and her were talking about it. She's like, I've been homeless in this town for 6 years, and you know, I love it. And it's like, I know, I get it. It's fucking an easier life. Oh, I got my drink, I've got my breakfast, I got my cigarettes, you know, like, what else do I need? You know, now you're just, because like when you're homeless, you don't have anything that you have to do, so it's just like, you're on your own fucking time. And, that's where traveling comes in. If you're homeless, you might as well be fucking seeing something. If you're gonna be on the street, you might as well be on the street somewhere cool. You don't have to stay in your hometown. You don't have to stay where you were raised. Like, you can leave. Just leave. You're not buckled to this town. You're not buckled to your state. You have free will. You can just get up and go. And I feel like everyone's lost that. Like, what was it, the 50s? You know, the fucking 50s, the car craze came on and everyone was traveling. Everyone was going, you know, Route 66 and fucking traveling the 101 and the 1 and traveling the 5 and traveling down south and up north. And, you know, then the gas crisis happened, you know, in the 80s, 70s and 80s, and then there was another one in the 90s, and then now we're having one now. And, you know, people can't travel anymore. But if you're homeless and you're just traveling in your Subarus, you can just walk, just go, just get out of here, go to the next town over, and then go to the next town over until you're out of state and into the next state. Like, there's no reason to just sit still. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to get in here and talk about this whole like subgenre of people that a lot of people don't hear about. And you know, I've only touched on the whole subject briefly, but I'm sure we'll get into it more in detail in another episode. But for now, see you later.